good? What's good? What's good, people? This your boy Chris Reed Beats in the place to be. I'm glad that you guys have joined us this evening for our garage sessions number 7. We are going to be cooking up some beats here in Reason. Need to move that. I don't want that to fall. That's kind of expensive. We're going to be cooking up some beats here in Reason 12. This is the 7th episode of this live stream that we've been doing. We've been pretty consistent on Mondays, coming in at 6 p.m. I just realized that there's actually a lot of, there's like a lot of other people who stream at this time on this day. So if you really come in here and you watch, man, I really appreciate you because, like I said, there's a lot of other people that you could be watching. So yeah, I appreciate you for watching. If you do decide to come through and catch the vibe of what we working with tonight here in Reason, man, I think that's super dope because I was just looking before I went live. I was like, wow, it's like actually a good amount of people who also go live at this time. So just checking my little volume. Yep, we good to go, man. In terms of like what's been happening, I always start off my stream with a little bit of news. So the website is up, chrisreedbeats.com. You can definitely grab Chris Reed Keys Volume 1 there. You can also grab my free drum loop pack that I created here in this garage on that drum set over there. You can definitely grab that as well for free. All you got to do is give me an email. And really the email is so that, in case I make other sound packs, you could be the first one to grab it, And that's the thing about, making music. Exclusivity is very important. Very, very important. You never want to be the last person to the party. So yeah, that's the reason why I want your email so that I can send it to you first. So for the people that rock with me, for the people that watch the channel, for the people that subscribed, I'm here to help in your music production and in your music creation. So that's what my sound packs will be for. It's for your inspiration. It's for your use. So once I create it, once it's out there, man, I just want y'all to enjoy it. So on my website, like I said, chrisreedbeats.com, you can grab both of those sound packs if you would like. And we have some new and other important things there for the future as well. Also, with that being said, I do have some links. I have some affiliate links on that website, and it'll tell you if you go to the website, it'll show you. Say these links help to support me directly. So if you're a Reason head, if you're part of Reason Gang, and you use Reason to create music, then the next time you go to buy a plug-in, or the next time you go to buy a refill, or you go to buy a rack extension, or if you're purchasing, one of their instruments, or if you're purchasing the newest version of Reason, the next time you go, if you use my link, then Reason to share some of those profits with me, and it won't cost you anything extra, and it will be really helpful to help me in this channel to grow. So that's pretty much all the news that I have for you guys right now. Today, it's getting closer to Christmas, man. It's getting closer and closer and closer to Christmas. I'm gonna start off by making some beats, but I also do have to do some work in sound design and try to cook up some stuff in terms of some loops, so that I can get the next sample pack ready to go. So with that being said, let me just make sure we in here. Catchy Noise Productions. Kevin, it's good to see you, man. I appreciate you, man. Yeah, it's good to see you. If anybody else is watching, you guys are in here watching, man. Drop something in the chat room, man. I love to communicate. If you guys have any questions, about Reason or music production in general, please feel free to drop your questions. So I have a couple different things planned for this stream. So one is make a beat, right? So the first thing we're gonna do is make a beat. But then two, we're also going to do some music theory. So if you've ever been like, man, I want to learn some music theory. I want to learn, how do people make music, how does music work, how to play piano, how to play, sounds, how to figure out chords. We're going to do a little bit of music theory inside of Reason, because that's just something I plan to do today in this stream. And then lastly, we're going to do some loops and melody creation. So that's what I have planned for this stream. It'll pretty much be spend some time in each one of those sections. So we'll spend some time making a beat. We'll spend some time doing music theory, and then we'll spend some time making some loops and melodies. Again, shout out to you if you came to rock with me during this stream. I appreciate you. And yeah, man, let's get started. Enough of this talking stuff. We're gonna go ahead and get started right now. So no ID8s today. No ID8s, and the reason why I'm saying no ID8s is because I want to dive into some refills. I want to dive into some sounds. I don't want to use anything that's super stocky. No super stock, but hey man, the more that I show you with this Reason, I hope that it encourages you, what I'm saying, to go ahead and use it. Definitely ever since Reason 10, like Reason 11 is like, if you're using Reason 11, you can use it as a VST, so you can use it inside of other DAWs. You can use it inside of Ableton. You can use it everywhere. So it's like that's one way that you can use it more. Using it just as a DAW. If you have a lot of other VSTs, really it depends on your computer. A lot of other people complain that Reason is not good with like other VSTs and stuff like that. But personally, I don't ever have that issue that other people seem to have in terms of Reason. But in terms of Reason, I never had that issue. So you let me know if when you're using other VSTs, if it's like hard on your computer, if it's hard on your computer or whatever. But really, yeah, for me, it's just a feel thing. It's literally the shortcuts. It's just like the flow in which I can go here, add a track, add this, add that, the redrum, the sequencer, the piano roll. Just the way that things are laid out for me is just what makes me, want to use Reason as, in terms of instead of using another DAW. But, music production, as long as you can have MIDI notes, as long as you can play MIDI notes, or if you're analog kind of guy, you're recording music directly using your line ins on your audio interface. If that's something that you're doing, then yeah, you're good to go. Any DAW can handle that pretty much. It's just, what's comfortable. So for me, Reason is comfortable, and I think that, I think you can make the same music that you can make in any other DAW, you can definitely make in Reason. It's not like Reason is like handicapped in any kind of way, where it's like, oh, only you can only use this DAW to make this kind of music. Like Fruity Loops is not like the industry standard of like beat making. Like that's the only thing you could ever use to make something commercial or make something, it's not like that. It's just, it's I've said this before too. It's just a weapon. It's a sword. Everybody's sword is differently, and every sword master is different. How you wield your sword is totally up to you. So, it's totally up to you how you decide to wield your sword when it comes to that. So, hey, choose what you will. Let's get out of C minor as well. So we're gonna challenge ourselves today. We're gonna challenge ourselves and not use like stuff that we normally use. Normally I use C minor is like a go-to for me. It's a lot of talking, I know, but hopefully you rocking with me. We're gonna try not to use C minor. We're gonna use a different key. Okay. So that would be like a F sharp minor. What's F sharp major? Cool. I'm gonna change this. Let's look through some patches. So we're gonna stay in that key, by the way. We're not gonna say that key and then change it. Feel like I just played something from The Legend of Zelda or something. Different tempos today too. Different tempos. 1, 2, 4. Don't you ever disrespect me like that. What you doing? What you doing? See, like we finna chop these MIDI notes that I just did. Finna chop them into something else. See how I just did that? We don't want that. So, bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. So I'm gonna use this I'm gonna use this let me get my chat. Let me get my chat back out. I'm going to use this LFO to you guys know the retro. It's like a RC20 or something like that. It basically, it alters your sound, and I'm going to use this LFO to recreate that feeling, right? Of the feeling of the pitch, adjusting ever so slightly. And look at this stuff all over. Oh, it's already one right there. Let me see this. Questions. Just gotta get rid of this old one. Where's this other chat at? That's the chat. How come this is there? What's up with that? I can't get to it. Let me play this. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. Let's raise the pitch up. Normally I'd use an NN19 right here, but we're gonna use, there it is. I found the chat that I didn't want. All right, cool. Normally we use an NN19, but I don't want to use an NN19 because we're doing things differently today. So we're gonna use a mimic actually, and let's use this mimic real quick. Actually, I was at one point. I had same way I created the keys and the drums. I started working on some other patches as well. I started working on the 808. Let me see if I have some. Let me see if I saved it or not. 808 kit files. Here's the one sample. I don't think I made a sample out of it, but I did start it. But let's get something else going. Let's see what samples I have. I have a couple of these little free kits that I got. Old habits die hard. Hi from Denmark. do some. I gotta find some sounds. I gotta find the sound that I want. But I like what we got so far. Some hats, but where do you find one when you need one? Children's choir. Where do you find one when you need one? Is that what we need? Is that the sample pack we need? Well, I guess that's a good sign if you can dance to it. I got a little dance going, you know what I'm saying? And then they go, hey, hey, yeah, I ain't that old. catch this dance. Catch this dance. Catch this dance. People gonna catch this dance. You gonna catch this dance. Catch this dance. You about to lose your job. Get this dance. Hey, get this dance. I just heard something, so dang, that's too bad because I don't think I'm gonna be able to get it because I want to whistle. We gotta get real creative. Watch this. I'm finna get extra creative right now. All right, so look, this microphone that I got. It's a USB microphone, but it has a headphone jack. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna plug in this aux cord, right? We're gonna get one of these 1/4 inch to 1/8 inch adapters. Yeah, something like that. One of these adapters, we're gonna put this into here. All right. And then we're gonna plug this into our microphones. Uh-oh, don't break something. We're gonna plug this into our microphones headphones. And you should be able, I should be able to get it. More than likely it ain't gonna work though. It ain't gonna work because I tried to do something. Normally it will work. Let me see. Hello? Let me see. Ain't no nothing. Let's try the other way. Let's put this one here. And let's put this one here. Uh-oh. There it is. I hear it. It's trying. Y'all probably, hopefully you're not getting no feedback right now. Hopefully. Crap. Okay, let's just do this real quick so we can. I'm just gonna get that note real quick. Alright, cool. Alright, now we're gonna stop this little experiment before it's too late. Okay, here we go. We're done with that. Alright, cool. Always got to do something. Oh, this is a bad idea. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I don't know. We'll find out. So these notes are not gonna match automatically. I know that because it's not. I didn't whistle in the key of C. But close. So we gotta actually find the note. Oh, that was easy. That was pretty easy, actually. Now what? I don't understand. Why are we getting? Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm always trying to do something. I'm always trying to do too much. All right, here we go. I'm not sure if you guys were saying you lost my voice when I probably did it on purpose. I don't know, but should be back now. Should be back now. If it's not back now, then I broke something. Yeah. It's back now, so I didn't break something. I probably did it on purpose. Okay, yeah, it was on purpose. So sometimes I put it on mute when I'm going too crazy. Then it's like, yeah, you going too crazy. Chill out. I think it's time for our lesson tonight. Our lesson in is that right? 3 likes? Is that right? How to say it's 9 people watching, I only got 3 likes. That's strange. That's weird. I mean, 9 people watching. I only got 3 likes. And then that was the other. I'm one of the likes. Hold on, which one of these cameras is on? I'm one of the likes. Wait a minute. Hold on. It's 9 people watching. I got 3 likes. And I'm one of the likes. I don't know. Can we do something about that? Y'all let me know. Can we do something about that? Can we do something about that? Oh, man. Sound projective. What's that mean? I'm lost. What's that mean? Oh, man. Okay, I promise you I'm sober. I do not partake in alcohol or marijuana. So I promise you I'm sober. But I was looking. This is this person's name. His or her name is Sound Projective. What's up? I don't think I've ever seen that name before in the stream. So what's up, man? Salute to you. And they put like a little face, like a little emoji. But I was like, what does that mean? But that's their name. All right, cool. All right, so you know what I'm saying? Give me something in the chat. Let me know what you guys thought about this one right here. I'm going to pull up a little poll. You know, send me some love. Send me some energy. And then we're going to go into our music theory lesson, a quick lesson. Music theory for music producers. We're going to hit that up. Cool. So we're gonna go ahead and load up. A new file. We're gonna go ahead and load up a new file right now, and very quickly, we're gonna jump into a little bit of like music theory. A little bit of music theory. Not a job loss. Hey Kevin, man, we doing our thing, man. Naming an ode to Karen for real, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, cool. So, I want to teach a little bit. I want to do a little bit of music theory. So, music theory, for producers. Music theory for producers specifically. Okay, so, when you're thinking about music, So there's different kinds of music, right? There's different kinds of music. There's like that, like the little classical joints, you know what I'm saying? And that's like gospel. And then there's like, like some soulful stuff. Right. So there's some soulful different things, right? So there's lots of different ways that you can play piano and things of that nature. When it comes to music production, first lesson that we want to talk about, because we're not really getting into piano, like some people would like to play piano, like they want to be able to play piano. That's literally how I got into music in general. I just heard somebody like playing. I heard people playing like those chords that just make you go, oh, like they was like they were playing. Oh, yeah, that wasn't a good example. They was like just like giving you that feeling. They was just. They would just give you those feelings, and it should be like, how do you do that? How do you do that? So that was like my thing. Like, I want to learn how to play piano because I want to be able to do that. For making beats, sometimes it's not really all about that. Sometimes it's mainly about bass and melody. It's about bass and melody. So melody is movement from pitches, from one pitch to the next in a specific rhythm. So you go. So if we play that same thing without the rhythm, we just go. Right, it changes the song. The pitches is still the same, but it changes the mood. It changes the song, right? So when we're working with keys, the first thing that I want to talk about is a semitone. So semitone is when you go from one note to the very next note. Okay, the very next note. So if we're on a keyboard, or if we're on a keyboard, or if we're looking at a piano roll, for example, like this one we have up here, if we're looking at a piano roll, or we're looking at a keyboard, and let's say we're right here on G, right? We're on G right here. The very next note is G sharp or A flat. And we really need to recognize that for hip hop trap production, because that is one semitone or semitone. So if you think of a whole tone or whole step or a semitone or a full tone, right? That's the relation of what we're talking about from note to note, right? Now, if we go two semitones or a whole step is two semitones. So if the very next note is one semitone, then two semitones is a whole step. So we're in a little bit of music theory right now. So we're just learning some stuff. Whole steps, half steps. So when you hear the word semitone, think of the word half step. And when you hear the word whole step, you think of two semitones. So we're going, all of those are half steps. They're half steps from one note to the very next note, one note to the very next note, one note to the very next note. So let's look at the breakdown of C major. We'll look at C major real quick. C major. Right? So we look at C major, and we know that C major has all white notes, all white keys. Right? All white keys for C major. But even in C major, just being all white keys, there is a specific pattern that you can see in those keys. So if we take what we learned about semitones and we start at C, we can see that there is a whole step from C to D. C to D is a whole step, right? It's two semitones. Then from D to E is another whole step, two more semitones. But from E to F, it's only a half step or one semitone. Now that's important because there is a pattern that you can find in all of music. When we're thinking about music theory, there's a pattern to finding certain scales by using just the root note. I did it earlier when I was trying to figure out a different scale that I wanted to play with. I usually play around in C minor. Play around in C minor. Usually play around in C minor, but I wanted to do a different scale, so I chose a different key, right? So I chose F sharp. This is F sharp. And I wanted a major key, right? I wanted a major key, like DJ Khaled said. And so to do a major key, I had to follow a specific pattern. Now, if you paid attention to when we was talking about C major, you will see that that has a specific pattern of semitones and tones, or of half steps and whole steps. So now I'll show you the formula. It's starting from your root note, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. So I'll do that again. Starting from your root, whole step, half step, whole step, half step. So there are two half steps. There are two half steps in a major chord, in a major scale. And the whole steps, the pattern would go whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. So you got two whole steps, one half step, and then three whole steps, and your final half step will bring you back to what is called the root or the tonic, the one of the scale. The one in this scale is a C. And if we take those keys and we move up, we get a D minor. And then we get an E. And then we get an F. And then we get a G. We get an A minor. And then we have this B augmented. And I think that's a B diminished. Diminished, B, diminished, and then back to C major. So why is this important when we're talking about music theory and music production? Why is it important to be able to find a scale? Well, it's important because if you know how to find the scale, you know, C major, all white keys, you could tell yourself that, but you could also tell yourself, hey, I know that C is the root. It's the root of that scale, and I can make it minor. I can make it major. I just have to know the formula for major and for minor. So with that being said, let's look at C minor. So C minor, a little different. You can even hear the difference when you listen to them. I like to think of it like if this was a dream. If this was a dream, that's kind of like a pretty happy dream. It's like, some happy things are happening in this happy dream. But then, that's not as happy. It's a little gloomy. It's some things is happening in this dream. It's taking me on a roller coaster. There's some parts where it feels really good. Then there's some parts where it's like, can we get away from there? And so that's what the minor key typically gives you, a much more moody feel, a much more sad, depressed feel. But you can make anything sound, away if you know how to play it. Just bad examples, right? Or like somebody might say that's still sad, to them. I don't know. But when you think about it, you think about, how the music make you feel. Movement and melody is very important when it comes to music theory. So these half steps are very important because that's where you hear a lot of the melodies that you hear in music, and when you're making beats, it really comes from that half step, those notes that are very close to each other. So it's so you really So it really can give you that feeling when you're playing off of those half steps. When you play off those half steps, when you create a melody and you use those half steps, can really help you to, create a melody, right? So if we start on our root note of C minor. Oh, I didn't give you the formula. So we know the major key formula is whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. The minor scale formula is starting with your root, whole step, half step. We immediately go whole step, half step. So right into the scale, it hits us with a half step. And remember, those half steps, that's where you get what's called, it's a lot of dissonance. It's a lot of tension. It's like, I'm trying to go somewhere. And it's like, it's trying to get you, right? It's trying to get you to the next note. It's like, right? So it's a lot of tension in those half note areas, right? Not the same for the other tonics, not the same for the other tones in the key, in the scale. But for sure, when it comes to those half step moments, there's a lot of tension, right, to go from one to the next. So anyway, all right, so we have whole step. There's a whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step, half step. And if you know that, then you can find the minor scale for anything. You can find it for anything, right? We can go somewhere else. We can go. Whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step, half step. So far in this lesson, in this music theory lesson that we have, we've been talking about finding scales. We've gone over major scale, we've gone over minor scale, we've gone over the formula for majors and minor scales, whole steps and half steps. We've learned some whole steps, half steps. All of those things are very, very, very important when it comes to making music. So specifically, how do I use it in my music production is the next question that would come up, right? It would say, hey, well, how do I use it in my music production? So a lot of people have learned how to make beats just by using the piano roll. And I remember the first time I saw somebody do it, and I remember the first time somebody, came to me and was talking about it. It was like a big thing. It was like, yo, did you know that, did you see this guy, man? He made a beat. He wasn't playing the piano. He wasn't playing a MIDI keyboard. He just used the mouse and he just drew it in. Like, yo, it was so amazing. And it is dope, when you can see people like draw that in. So that's like a normal thing. It's actually not really a big thing to play piano, to be able to play those melodies and stuff like that. It's fun for me. I like doing it. It's fun. I like catching a jam and like really jamming out to it, and just get the, I like being able to do stuff like that, but it's not necessary for your musical productions necessarily, because you can just learn how to just draw that out, right? But so some people have MIDI keyboards, some people don't have MIDI keyboards. If you make beats and you use a MIDI keyboard, tell me right now in the chat room. We still got some people watching. If you use your MIDI keyboard specifically to make beats, tell me your process. What do you do? Do you start with, oh, you know, I want to start with the keys. I'll play that on my MIDI keyboard, and then I will make the melody some other way, right? You tell me if that's what you do. I don't know. Right? Some people, you know, they play the melody with that. Some people will actually go ahead and draw it out. You tell me, do you draw out your melodies and chords? Do you play them on your keyboard? You tell me, you let me know. But I'll show you guys how you can go about doing that. So there's a couple different ways that you can do it. We're going to build out our scale. So I can show you this. I'll show you this ghost notes technique. So we have our scale here. This is this is our C minor scale, and we have it, you know, it's tracked out here. And if we go, yeah, there we go. So in Reason, if you create an instrument and use 2 note lanes, right, you can have this one here. This has all of the notes, and then you can go to the next one, and when you go to the next one, now it has those as ghost notes, right? These are not the actual notes, these are ghost notes, right? And you can use that in order to create a, wait a minute, this is not what I want to do. Let me see. Yeah, because that deletes it. I usually start with some simple chords in my Akai MPK Mini. Sometimes I also use Scales and Chords Player and Reason. Nikita says I prefer to play. Right, so right there, you know, 2 responses, and pretty much the responses were the opposite, right? So yeah, you know, to each his own. To each his own. Some people like to do it one way. Some people like to do it the other way. And I think that you can, you know, you can do it either way. However you want to do it, you could do it. You can just do your own thing. All right, so we were getting into this. So let's move these somewhere else where they're out of the way. Let's move them down kind of low. So we have these notes that we can reference to, for example. Here's our notes down here that make up our scale. So we know C is the root note, so I can play that note there. Now I have my metronome on. Yo, don't be disrespectful. I'm trying to do something here. Cool. So let's go up. So here we have it. Let's turn this up a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna just do a very short loop here. And then we'll expand it out. So we have this note, and just by itself is not really doing much, right? So let's say we doubled it up. So, you know, we got something. Now, instead of just playing that, we can decide, all right, which way are we going to go? Are we going to go up, or are we going to go down? Let's see what the difference if we go up. And let's hear the difference if we go down. All we did was we just went down, skipping 1 note in between. And what you can do when you hear that, you can hear the difference in the feeling that it gives you when you play those 2 different notes. So if that's our, you know, that's our beginning idea of melody, then we can copy that over, and we could just have that be our melody, right? We can just have it go. we could change this. We can have it use a lot of that dissonance we were talking about. And we can switch that, and we can have it going upward. What's giving us the movement in this melody? The rhythm is giving us the movement in the melody, right? So, you know, as you draw the notes in, you know, you just build upon it. You just build upon it, right? We could just play whole notes. These will be considered whole notes. It's just playing out for 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Half notes, I guess. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Right? Or you can move it into a little bit more of, like I said, more of a quarter note situation. And we can do that too. And we can move that too, right? So now let's experiment on changing the way that melody is formed. So right now we have you think of like ratios. You think of like a ratio, like 1 to 1 is this right here. Both notes, the root note and the melody note, is playing at the same time. It's in the same time. It's just 1 to 1. It's playing the same length. It's starting at the same time, 1 to 1. The first set is playing at a 1 to 2. For every 1 root note, there's 2 melody notes. So bang, bang, right? There's 2. If we did a 1 to 3, we would have to add in another note. And then we could do a 1 to 4. So repetition is a very important process in terms of making melodies. So I would say, you know, you have a couple different foundational principles that you want to work with. You want to work with repetition. You want to work with dissonance, tension, and release. So we know dissonance is, that's the sounds that conflict with each other. You never want to hear those notes together like that, unless you're going to play them with something beautiful. Right? Just by itself, with context. By itself, context. Same thing. Octave apart, different sounds. All right, cool. So that's dissonance. And we know rhythm, that's how much is being played. Like I said, the ratios. 1 to 1, 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 1 to 4, right? 1 to 5, 1 to 6. However you want to look at it, right? Again, you could split the ratio again, go 2-4. Now we're in a 2-4. For every 2 roots, for every 2 root notes, there's 4 melody notes. If you use this kind of ratio mentality of it, then it's kind of like, all right, you know, that's how you get to drawing the melody out, right? And then, so we're working with dissonance, tension, we're working with rhythm, and we're using those, whole step, half steps, and we're using the ratio to give us a rhythm, right? So now let's go back to just having our root note being 1, and we'll just change around these notes. So like that's a very busy opening sequence, right? So maybe it's like too busy. Maybe we want to slow that down. Now for the second one, let's give it a 2-1, but let's change the root. Let's change the root to something else. Something called a turnaround would be at the end of our melody line, adding something that kind of pushes us back toward the beginning, right? So it would be if this is our beginning note on the first part of the melody, this is our ending note on the last part of the melody, then we want something that's going to push us back up to that note. It doesn't have to be that fast, right? It doesn't have to go that fast. It can actually be a little slower. Now, another thing that I see a lot of people do is they will bring this bass note, they'll bring it down. Sorry for all the noise. We need to hear this in context, right? Because out of context, that just kind of just sounds like a bunch of notes. But that could be our beginning notes. And in reason, if we hold down on control and we stretch this out, we can make that a little longer. Get something we could hear that with. Let's do plucks. Let's do some plucks. Let's find some bells. Not those. Now let's add something to, dirty this up a little bit. Let's dirty this up. So we'll dirty this up. Dirty this up a little bit. Let's add some effects. Add a little pulverizer in there. I usually just change it to something different. That's a little too intense. Too intense. Let's make it a little faster. I like the rhythm of it, right? I like the rhythm of it. So that's a good question, all right? So I would like to know a bit more on the relationship between melody notes and their bass accompanying notes, right? So, of course, the way that I would answer that is, if we're in the bass and this is our starting, melody, it's the same note. It's C. This is a C, and this is a C. But it's octaves apart. That's 1 octave, 2 octaves, 3 octaves. Well, if we're in the key of C minor, if we're playing our bass C, and then say we add a chord, well, that chord contains that root note. That chord also contains a fifth, which is this note, the fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The fifth of that scale. I also like to think of formulas with that too. So that would be, in terms of semitones, that would be, I believe, a 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 semitones. So if we start at the root and we go up 7, that's our fifth. And right in between there would be our third, right? And that's a flat third in the minor, and it's a regular third, a major third in the major. So that would be that. In terms of like melody, it plays around in the scale. It plays around in that root note. But you could play the same melody with a different bass if it's in the same scale. So it's the root is what's giving us the ability to play around with that melody. In terms of like creating the melody, I just said like that's something you could use to springboard your melody. So you're using octaves essentially to start off your melody. We're starting on the same tone. We're starting on the same tone, so you're gonna have a good bed. You're gonna have a good foundation. As opposed to like starting this on a different note. It's perfectly fine to do that. I actually might like that, but it just depends on playing that. Just we're just starting at the bass, right? We're starting at the very bass. But you can change it around. So hopefully that answers your question. I'm not sure if it does or if it doesn't, but hopefully that answers your question. So I also was playing around, like I was playing around with that LFO earlier, and so we're gonna I'm gonna add that as well. I'm gonna add in another one of those pulsars. I'm just add it in, and we're just gonna have this affect the mod wheel. Now I wonder if there's a way I can take all of these and combine them, and look at that. this one instead. So I'm just doing some stuff to change around the sound of this patch, right? I'm just adding in some stuff in here to change around the sound of this patch, give it a different feel. Just give it a different feel, and let's go with a little. Sounds like it's a little bit too much of the pitch being affected, so I'm gonna dial down this LFO. Scary jewelry box. You know, it remind me of that game. It remind me of that game, Five Nights at Freddy's. Oh my god, bro. Have you guys ever played that game? You ever played that game, Five Nights, bro? I'm laughing just thinking about it. I never want to go back, never ever again. All right, cool. So we're still in thinking about melody and music theory, right? So we're thinking about melody and we're thinking about music theory. So to build chords, we did a little chord building too, right? In terms of the formula. So if I'm at the root note, I find my third, I find my fifth, I can find my seventh, right? This is the eighth, because that's the, yeah, you guys look like y'all familiar with that game. Yeah, never again. So that's our eighth, so that would mean this is our ninth. Here's our 11th. Wait, this is 10. So this is 11. Look how beautiful that is. And as you learn scales and chords, then you pretty much understand that 11th chords are just two chords from the same scale put together. So for example, we have C minor. This is our C minor chord, and this is our B. What is this? B flat. 1, 2, 3, 4. B flat major. B flat major. C minor. B flat major. When you put those two together, that's C11. And we can go up a semitone in a different key now, but I think I did it. There we go. We're in a different key, but it's the same formula. It's the same formula. It's just two chords in the same scale. It's just two chords. This is C sharp minor, and then this is B major. So a minor plus the major in the scale gives you the 11th. All those notes together. And then there's different ways to play those notes. You know, if you do the inversions, it'll give you different feelings and different understandings. Y'all never looked at this that way. Good tip. Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad if you feel like you're getting something out of it, man. Yeah, I'm glad. So, 11th chord is just those two together, two chords. There's always formulas, and there's always like a certain amount of half steps and whole steps between chords to finding those chords. If you take, for example, that a C11 chord we just played, if we change the inversion of it, and instead of having this C way down here, let's say we put the C up here, it's still the same chord. So let's take off that E and let's put the E up here. Now we got a lot of stuff clustered together. It's kind of hard to hear them separately, right? And then if we take off the G and add it to the top, well, now look at what we have. I probably should, let me see this. I should have had my piano roll up so you can see what I was playing. Here's the notes I was playing, if you can see that. It's just all the notes from B flat. You know, it's just the next corresponding note in the scale. Right? It's the next corresponding note in the scale. But it's the same thing. But these are spread out. And these are together. Spread out, together. Spread out, together, right? So, that would be another way you could play it. Very, very spread out, right? Same notes, different feeling. So that was on scale. So we was talking about building scales. We was talking about building scales. I wanna pull in this radical pianos as we get ready, and this is gonna be our first loop as we go into the next portion of our stream, which is loop building. We're gonna make some more beats and build some more loops. But radical piano. Radical piano, radical. This is FX. What is you doing? All right, here we go. Radical piano. So we say, hey, how do we make the chords out of that melody? Well, we just take the roots. So we know that the root is C. And the next major part is this E. So we could just follow that, right? And our last one would be on F. So we can just follow that, C, E, and then F. We could follow that and then play this and then down, right? So we could do that. That could be a way that we could do it. So I'll show you right now. I'll go. I like that, right? off some of that pitch. So the way that we found those chords was we just took the same roots. We took the root, which was C, and then the next one is here. So we're carrying the C across this entire thing before we move to the next one. Now you could play a chord on each. You could play a chord on each one if you want it. Is that a D, B flat? Oh, okay. So it would have been. We take the chord. Let's take this bass line right here. And because I'm playing it, right? I didn't actually do it like we've been doing it. So let's take this bass line that we have and we'll build it the same way. We'll build it. Thank you. I appreciate that. We'll build it the same way. So and we'll build this up. So we're trying to find what's the next, we're in the same scale. Play that. That don't sound good. That's good right there. I don't like how that goes up. So let's bring those down. Instead of going up, let's go down. Let's bring that going down. Let's move this middle note up. Let's move that up to G2. See, we open up the chord and it gives us a different sound, right? It makes it more full. It's just using the same notes within the scale, but we open it up and now we have that very big, nice, boisterous chord. And the only other thing I'm going to do right now is I'm literally going to find a loop. I'm going to find a loop and then I'm going to throw in 808 and we're just going to call that the... We're gonna call it. Let me see. Sorry, y'all. Trust me, it hurt my ears just as much as it hurt yours. So what are we gonna do with our 808? Literally, we could take that same bass line that we had. And we can just drop that in there. Let's just raise it up a little bit. See, but do we usually play bass lines like that? You don't know. We switch things up a little bit. Like we don't really play bass lines on the one of the beat. This would be the 1, 2. So that last one is fine. 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? You play off of different parts of the rhythm when it comes to your bass line. You don't want to just go. You don't want to just be playing that, right? You want to do something a little different. You want to do something a little different. So you might want to start it a little later. Right? And you follow the drums. I'm mad. I'm sorry. I gotta go. I gotta end the stream early. we gotta go. But this is Music Theory 101. We'll call this Music Theory 101. If you guys liked this video, if you like this like music theory type stuff, if you want to see like a full dedicated video for something like this, let me know, because I'll put something together. I'll put something super dope together, and we can really go a little deeper with the music theory in terms of not just music theory for playing, but how do we use it in beat making. I'll make something like that. But let's finish this out, and then I gotta dip. See how we go, boom, boom, boom. If I was gonna do anything there, but I don't have to. I could just leave it there. I would probably work with your octaves when it comes with 808s. Let's go down with this one because we're going to come back up. Let's change where this comes into. So, boom, 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 boom. I hear like a boom, 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 like a double up right here, something like that, going low. Triplets would be the next thing. Triplets would be the next thing we would do. We would just do something pretty high. Alright, we'll just do something like that, like something like that. Does this is I didn't tell you to do that. I probably did tell it to do it, but I didn't tell it to do that. So that's actually another triplet. And if I'm in Reason, if I change this to 16th notes, then that'll give me, I can press Control D and I can duplicate that over and it'll give me the, because what I want is that. Not the way it did it, but you get me. Okay. I definitely appreciate you guys rocking with me this stream, man. It's been a lot of fun. I hope that you guys have a great evening. It's a cool little trap Christmas. Little trap Christmas for y'all. You know what I'm saying? All we need is a little sleigh bell, something. I gotta go. I'm still trying to add in stuff. I gotta go. Let me see this. Yeah, let me see. Bro, stop. Whatever. I think that's coming in. Tell the difference. How'd you know it was coming? I want to say I appreciate you guys for rocking with me this stream, and you guys are super awesome. I think it's super cool that we get to do this. We get to have a little fun. Appreciate you guys. We're gonna keep rocking with these garage sessions, and please let me know if you have anything that you want to do, anything you want to learn, any questions you want to ask, any things you want to go through. Please let me know. I'm gonna try my best to get those things answered. In the meantime, be well, live good, prosper, be well, have a great evening. Peace out, y'all. Till next time, peace.